Good afternoon. Thank you very much for giving us time for interview. Your Excellency, Ambassador of the Republic of South Africa, Ambassador Vika Khumalo. My first question would be, in the case of the South Africa, how could cultural diplomacy connect different cultures and promote peace and mutual respect?
In my speech a few minutes ago, I alluded to that we have used our different cultures to create harmony within our nation. Prior to 1994, for instance, you may or may not know, you must have been a baby then.
10 years old, 8 years old.
People thought that with the ANC coming into power, there would be chaos. Things would change for the worse. But what we did was to use the different cultures to unite the country. Because each one of us has a role to play. The different cultures have a role to play. Everybody wanted a successful South Africa, irrespective of their culture. So that was used to make South Africa a success. Hence, we have been called a rainbow nation because of the different cultures, the different people, the different complexions that you find in the country. We use those cultures in dance, in song, just to unite people. When they sing, when they dance, when they talk to each other, it makes each one of us proud to see any group participating in dance or in song.
Thank you. And following the previous question, how did cultural diplomacy influence South Africa's foreign policy regarding its growing relationships with many countries around the world?
In Southern Africa, for instance, South Africa shares the same culture with a number of the countries around us. So that already makes us, or creates a common denominator for everybody. We all have the same base, so to speak. We share this culture. So we see ourselves as one people, even though we are separated by artificial international boundaries. So that has helped. And South Africa has not only stopped by sitting at home, we've gone out into our neighboring countries to assist in whatever way we could to build their economies and to entrench the culture of human rights using our own culture. If we have the same culture, it makes sense then that if human rights are acceptable to us, they should be acceptable to the rest of our neighbors, because we have the same culture and we subscribe to the Bill of Human Rights, which does not distinguish the color, creed or religion of anybody.
In your previous lecture, you mentioned Expo Shanghai, if I'm not mistaken, and I believe that that's a great venue for promoting culture and cultural diplomacy. From your experience working in this conference or exposition, how did this event help in establishing new relationships or improving the existing ones, for example, for South Africa, with many countries from around the world?
In my speech, I also mentioned the FIFA World Cup,
yeah,
which was very broad. But for the for the Shanghai World Expo, we brought cultural groups from South Africa that came to perform at the expo, that showcased our culture and showed people who we are, what we do, sort of assisted us in changing the negative perceptions. You know, there is Afro-pessimism.
Yeah. Now,
when people went into our pavilion and saw the kind of things that South Africa is able to do and the kind of culture that we have, For example, some of our movies have won international awards, not only in the US, but globally. Germany, the UK, you name it.
Right.
As part of showcasing our culture. So we showed a bit of that we have a global culture. We have things that we can share. We have things that are common with everybody anywhere in the world, and our culture is successful.
And how would you briefly describe this cultural experience? How were the reactions from other countries? Did that help South Africa's foreign policy to improve its relations with other states?
It did. Their views changed, their perceptions changed, and it made it easy for us to continue with our foreign policy and explain who we are.
My next question is that how would you define South Africa's relationship with Turkey? What are the main cooperation areas?
Turkey, we cooperate in the economy, education, and in a number of areas. We have very cordial relations with the Republic of Turkey. This February, we just concluded a joint economic commission in which we looked at other areas or into other areas that we could work on in the area of economic development. So yes, we have a very happy relationship with Turkey, and we will continue to have a very good relationship. Our deputy president was here in 2010. Prime Minister Erdogan was in South Africa last year. So that's a good sign that we have continued to maintain good relations.
What is your opinion regarding the idea of adding Turkey to the BRICS group?
My personal opinion?
Your personal opinion, for instance.
Turkey is one of the fastest growing economies
Right.
in the world. It is the fastest growing economy in Europe.
So,
It qualifies to belong to any group that it wants, or that it chooses to belong to. And if the BRICS countries agree to take Turkey in, yes, why not?
right. It's a very positive answer.
With the perspective of the growing economy of South Africa, how do you think that cultural diplomacy could be used as a tool for reducing social inequality?
I think it's important for South Africa, as we go through some transformation, as we fight to eliminate poverty. The successes that we make benefit all of us. It changes the culture, it enriches the culture, it broadens the base, and it opens a lot of opportunities for our people. And it makes it easier for people-to-people relations to flourish. So cultural diplomacy fits in perfectly in that.
I think you've already mentioned my next question, but I would like to ask, maybe you could elaborate more on the FIFA World Championship that took place in South Africa, because it was a great opportunity for South Africa to show herself to the world and show what this country can do. What do you think about using sports as cultural diplomacy? What's the South African experience regarding this?
Our experience has been very positive. I also mentioned the 1995 the Rugby World Cup, which was held in South Africa successfully. It was won by South Africa. We also hosted the Cricket World Cup. It brings the focal point to South Africa for the world to see, because we then become a window to the world. We use that sport as a window to the world to identify what South Africa can do. So all those successes, the successful hosting of the World Cup, I think was a very good thing for us. It changed a lot of perceptions. The negative perceptions I alluded to earlier changed.
And during this time, South Africa was also able to host a huge amount of people attending these events. What were the reactions about from these people regarding South Africa, regarding the, well, you mentioned about the World Championship, but about the country itself?
Well, a lot of people have been surprised each time they go to South Africa about how modern the country is. Right. It is not exactly what they think it is. So those that came to South Africa marveled at the development that we have achieved in a short space of time. In 17 years, we have been able to do quite a lot of things. The infrastructure can be compared to any first world country. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. But we have successfully built our country to compete with the best. So that surprised them.
All right. And just perhaps the last question, what is the secret of South Africa to having been able to achieve this whole modernization process in a very short period of time?
It's hard work. Hard work.
Hard work.
Hard work.
All right.
And being together, working together. We disagree from time to time, but we disagree for one purpose, to make sure that we choose the best, whatever, that we want for our country.
All right. Thank you very much, Excellency, for having this time with us and for answering our questions. We are really happy to have you at the conference of the ICD, and we're looking forward to future cooperation with the ICD. So thank you very much.
Thank you. See you in Romania.
Yes, of
or
course.
in Germany.
Thank you very much.
I know I won't see you anywhere except Germany. But I might see you in Tokyo.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.